Welcome to the March 2026 edition of Upfront and Real, brought to you by Ohio Cooperative Living Magazine and Ohio's Electric Cooperatives. I'm Karen Whitney, Director of Communications, and with me Craig Grooms, our President and CEO. I mean, this morning is an example. We've had a tough, rough, cold winter this winter, and I don't think it's over yet here at the beginning of March. How have our generation resources fared this winter through this?
Yes, it has been a cold winter. A lot of sales, which is good for electric utilities. And our generation resources have performed very well. We had some outages early in January. Fortunately, we didn't have severe cold weather, but this winter overall, going back to the 1st of December, has been colder than normal. And fortunately, we have several power plants available to serve our members' needs. For the most part, they have performed very well. If you go back to late January, when we had the severe cold weather that came through really the entire eastern U.S., all of our power plants were online and available, helping lower overall cost to our members. And so overall, really good position. Generators have performed well. It's a huge benefit to have our coal plants to provide the stability, the cost stability, especially during those severe weather periods when natural gas prices increase dramatically.
PJM, which is the manager of the grid here in 13 states overall, they talked about during this really cold winter that 90% of the electricity that was used during those tough times came from coal, natural gas, nuclear. And I think that just really puts an exclamation mark on the point. We talk about reliability, affordability all the time with that type of baseload generation.
Yeah, we've been talking about it for several years, and we've analyzed pretty much every hour of the week of cold that PJM experienced, and we approached 97, 98% of some hours were supplied by oil, nuclear, coal, natural gas, some hydro. We had several peak hours when it was dark out, so no solar. And so it really just reiterates what we've been talking about for really over 10 years, that you have to have fuel diversity, you have to have fuel security, the ability to dispatch power when you need it. And that can happen at any time, right? You can't just hope that you have enough wind or have enough sunshine. It just reiterates what we've been talking about, is that you have to have a fuel secure, a fuel diverse portfolio of resources available to serve it when you need to.
I think a big part of that too was having that fuel available on site, and that with the coal plant, I always picture the large pile of coal that we have there, having maybe diesel fuel backup for natural gas plants. Talk about how important a key component having that fuel availability is during these times.
Yeah, so we visited our Cardinal Plant just after that week of cold weather, and the Ohio River was partially frozen through, right? So we were not receiving coal deliveries, but we had 50 plus days of fuel right there on site. So we can ride through weeks of cold weather. At our 2 natural gas plants, we have backup fuel oil available. We used some of that when natural gas prices were either too high or gas wasn't available. So that gives you that assurance, that security, where you can still run those plants to serve your members, even if you can't get fuel delivered to the plant. We have a forward purchase strategy for our coal plants where we're buying coal resources 2-3 years in advance, and so we have the security of knowing that we have supplies showing up year round. So it really pays off, and you can really appreciate it when you have cold stretches like this.
And I want to bring up at the end of last month, there was a great announcement from Department of Energy that Cardinal Plant was one of very few in the U.S. coal plants to get a grant to do some upgrading and improving, some innovation there, which I think really just shows that there's an administration, there are agencies that really do believe in reliable power is paramount.
We were happily surprised with that award. It was a Department of Energy program to help lower cost in rural communities. So it was a $175 million package or program. We are expected to receive about $34 million that will help fund maintenance investments that we're going to make at our Cardinal Plant, turbine overhauls. It's going to help us do some emission control equipment replacements. So just several projects that will overall improve the efficiency of the plant, will help lower overall costs to our members, and any amount really helps. So the message that we're getting from the administration, from the Department of Energy, is that they recognize, especially now when we're talking about a lot of load growth, data centers coming onto the system, and the importance of maintaining a fuel secure, dispatchable network or fleet of resources is all the more important. And so recognition from the government is important. It's something that we as co-op members have always recognized and acknowledged and made the investment. So yeah, I think it supports what we have always said is our business model, and every little bit helps.
Yeah, one of the benefits of being a co-op member.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back here in April when hopefully spring's arrived.